They say fear has a face, and if you ever see it smiling back at you, it's already too late. For decades, people have whispered about a figure that moves in the dark, tall, silent, and smiling. He doesn't stalk the forest like Bigfoot or dwell in the oceans like ancient myths. He walks where we do, through towns, across highways, and sometimes into your home. They call him the Grinning Man. The story begins in Elizabeth, New Jersey on a cold night. October 11, 1966. Two teenage boys, Martin and James, were walking home after a late movie. The streets were empty, the kind of quiet that presses against your ears. Above them, the hum of the turnpike echoed through the air. As they walked beneath the overpass, they laughed about school, about girls, about how strange the night felt. But then Martin stopped. His laughter died mid-breath. There, behind the chain-link fence, stood something. At first, it looked like a man. Tall, maybe 7 feet, broad shoulders, skin shining like metal under the dim streetlights. He wore a tight, reflective suit. No hair, no eyebrows, no color to his skin. His head tilted slightly to the side as if curious. And then, he smiled. It wasn't the kind of smile a person gives. It stretched too wide, too still, like it had been carved into his face. His lips pulled back, showing no teeth, just a dark curve of something wrong. The boys felt frozen. They couldn't move. The air seemed to thicken, and all they could hear was a strange clicking sound, like someone tapping their teeth together over and over. And then he turned fully toward them. His grin didn't move. His eyes were too far apart, too small, and somehow they didn't blink. Martin and James bolted. They didn't stop running until they reached home, gasping for air, unable to explain what they had seen. That was the first reported sighting of the Grinning Man, but it wasn't the last. Just weeks later, in Parkersburg, West Virginia, a man named Woodrow Derenberger was driving home from work when he noticed strange lights in the sky. A metallic craft descended onto the highway, forcing him to stop his car. From it stepped a tall figure in a shiny blue suit, smiling, always smiling. He didn't speak, not with words. The voice came straight into Derenberger's mind. It introduced itself as Indrid Cold. The name meant nothing to him then, but it would become infamous. Cold asked simple questions about the lights of the town, about people, about how humans lived. Then he told Derenberger they would see each other again. And he did, many times. From that night forward, Derenberger claimed Indrid Cold would visit him, always smiling, always asking, always watching. His wife said she met him too. She said his grin was like staring at death itself. Years later, their marriage fell apart. Derenberger's life descended into paranoia and fear. Some said he lost his mind. Others said the Grinning Man took it from him. But the story didn't end there. A month later, in Point Pleasant, West Virginia, the town that would soon be haunted by the legendary Mothman, a family named Lily began experiencing strange events in their home. Furniture moved on its own. Doors slammed. The lights flickered even when the power was steady. But it wasn't until one early morning that their youngest daughter, Linda, screamed so loud she woke the entire house. She told her parents she'd woken to the sound of clicking, that same strange rhythmic clicking. When she opened her eyes, she saw a tall figure standing at the foot of her bed. He was just standing there, smiling. He didn't move, didn't breathe, didn't blink, just smiled. Then he walked slowly around to her side and leaned over her face. Linda screamed again and pulled the blankets over her head. When she dared to look again, he was gone. For weeks, Linda refused to sleep in her room. But when she finally did, the strange noises stopped. The Grinning Man had disappeared, for now. Over the years, reports came from everywhere: Massachusetts, Scotland, even Italy. Each story told of a tall man with a reflective suit, no hair, and that horrifying grin. But one story stood apart: the story of Mary McRae from Scotland in 1972. Mary lived with her husband in a quiet village near the edge of a vast forest. One night, she woke to a clicking noise, soft at first, then louder, echoing through the room. She tried to move but couldn't. Her body felt heavy, paralyzed. Panic rose in her chest. She tried to scream, but no sound came out. Then she saw it. Her curtains, the ones she always closed before bed, were wide open, and through the window, she saw a face staring back at her. Smooth skin, beady eyes, a grin that stretched across its face like it was painted on. The eyes didn't blink, the mouth didn't move, but somehow, she felt it smile deeper. Mary felt her body lift off the bed, slowly, weightlessly, as if she were being pulled toward the window toward that face. The clicking grew louder, like bones cracking in rhythm. And then, nothing. She woke up hours later with a splitting headache, her curtains still open. She tried to convince herself it was a nightmare, but deep down, she knew it wasn't. She carried that memory with her until she died, at 94 years old, still terrified of the dark. So who or what is the Grinning Man? Some say he's not of this world. The reflective suit, the telepathic speech, the connection to UFO sightings, all point to something extraterrestrial. Others believe he's something far older, a watcher, a collector, a presence that appears before tragedy, drawn to fear like a moth to flame. In every story, there's one constant: dread. Witnesses describe a feeling so heavy it's hard to breathe, as if the air thickens around him. The grin doesn't just scare you, it consumes you. Some describe losing time, memory gaps, waking up in places they don't remember falling asleep. And there's another detail most forget to mention. Every encounter happens between late autumn and early spring, the cold seasons. Maybe coincidence, maybe not. Some researchers point to the link between Indrid Cold, the Mothman, and the Men in Black, all reported around the same period, all described as emotionless, smiling entities. Some think they are one and the same, shapeshifters disguising themselves to study us, or something darker. There's even an unsettling theory that the grin isn't a smile at all. It's a mask, a fixed expression to hide whatever lies beneath. But if the Grinning Man is just a myth, how do we explain the details that never change? The metallic suit, the smell of ozone before he appears, the clicking sound, the way every victim describes the same face, though they've never met. Skeptics call it mass hysteria, a shared hallucination inspired by books and stories. But others aren't so sure. Reports continue even today, modern ones. In 2018, a security camera in Ohio captured a strange figure outside a home at 3:17 a.m. It stood motionless for nearly 10 minutes, staring directly into the camera. The footage was grainy, but you could make out the outline of a tall figure and what appeared to be a faint grin. A week later, the homeowner's teenage son disappeared. His phone was found near the woods behind their house. The last image in his camera roll was a blurry shot taken from his bed, showing a pale face at the window, still grinning. Some say the Grinning Man marks people that once you see him, he doesn't need to appear again. He's already in your mind, watching through your thoughts, smiling through your reflection. And if you listen carefully, when the world goes quiet, when you're alone in the dark, you might hear it too, that faint, clicking sound. You tell yourself it's just the pipes or maybe your teeth, but deep down, you know, he's close. He doesn't want to hurt you, he just wants to watch, to see how long you can stand it before you start to grin back, because once you do, it's over. They say fear has a face, and somewhere right now, it's smiling. If you like this creepy story, don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell icon, and turn off the lights before the next episode. After all, you wouldn't want him watching you with the lights on, would you?